Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first video, hi, I'm Alaina, and this is The Organized Money, where we talk about planning life and managing money. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my April budget setup and also walking through how we did for the first quarter. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing, if you've never seen this planner before, this is my budget planner. It is one that I created that I sell in my Etsy shop, and I use this every single month in order to stay on top of our money. I did add my planner covers to my planner to make it much easier for me to flip through. So this is the cover to my budget planner, and then the very first sheet that you see is about this budget planner. I also have my budget categories and my goals for this year. I have my money routine on the back here, and then I have this blank sheet where I usually just brain dump. So I currently still have March in here, but I wanted to walk you through what I set up for the month of April. On my brain dump page, I am keeping track of my business budget. This is a place where I can just jot down all of the expenses that are coming out of my business account on a monthly basis. I am planning on creating a sheet that I keep in my business planner for this process, but for now, this is where I'm keeping it just so I can kind of stay on top of the different things that are coming up, and I'm able to keep track of what has actually cleared my business account. So I have that here, and I also have a trip coming up in the month of April. So whenever I have a trip coming up and I know I'm going to take that amount out of my short-term savings account, I like to add that on my brain dump page so that I don't forget, and put the estimated amount that I'm planning on taking out on this sheet. So that's all that I have on my brain dump page, and then the very next page is my monthly calendar. So my monthly calendar is probably my favorite spread in my entire budget planner. The reason that I love this spread so much is because it gives you a full view of everything that you need for the entire month with your money. I'm able to see everything that I need to pay, when it needs to be paid, and things that have already been paid. And this is also the one page in my budget planner that I do decorate. So I like to add every expense that I have for the entire month to my budget planner on the date that is due, and add a colorful dot along with it. So the first thing that I'll do is mark off all of my paydays, and then I will add in all of the bills that are going to be paid with that particular payday. So all of the expenses that are in yellow will be paid from the 31st payday, and then everything that is in gray will be paid from the 7th payday. The turquoise is from the 14th, the blue is from the 21st, and then the dark blue is from the 28th. This also makes it super easy for me to simply identify all the things that need to be paid each week. So if you look at my monthly spread now, you will notice that I no longer have any variable expenses on this spread, meaning that there is no food, there is no shopping, there's nothing on my monthly spread that is associated with any type of variable spending. This is because we have simplified our overall spending process to using our credit card. I've played around with this idea in the past, but now I am really trying to implement it, and that is using our credit cards for all variable spending and then paying it off every single month. So as you can see, every single Thursday I have assigned an amount to pay off our credit card. Usually it's $400, and that's because all of our variable expenses for the week is usually around $300. We'll spend $200 on groceries, and then we have an additional $100 for shopping and any other miscellaneous things that may happen. So I have a credit card payment assigned every single week to make sure that I am staying on top of the variable expenses that may be hitting our credit card, and it's fully paid off by the end of the month. Another thing that I do is I break up my higher expenses. So currently the only higher expense that I have is our mortgage. So I currently pay $600 in one week and then $1,000 in the next week, so that it's not too heavy coming out of one check. And I've also marked off any other events that we have this month. My pastor's birthday is on the 2nd, so I have that marked here, and then I know I have marked off our trip as well. On the next page, I have listed out all of the expenses that is on my monthly budget. So this is where I can list out all of the expenses, what they are projected to be, and then I will actually put in the amount when I pay them. This is a great way for me to kind of stay on top of all of our fixed expenses, stay on top of how much we're paying on debt, stay on top of how much we're saving, and kind of get to see everything from an overview. For our projected income, we are expecting $8,000 for the month of April. We are expecting our expenses to be around $4,200. So the difference that I have here of $3,700 will either go in towards savings or paying off debt. Currently, I have been using that amount to pay off debt, which is why we have been able to pay down $17,000 so quickly. And so this system has really been working for me. I know a lot of times when I do my monthly budget with me, a lot of people will ask why I don't take out the money out of my savings account to fully pay off all of my debt and just only have the $1,000 in my savings. Well, I realize that a lot of times we have higher repairs and higher things that come up that we would end up having to go back in debt if I did it that way. So I have decided to do both at the same time. So we do invest, save, and pay off debt all at the same time, and it has definitely been working for us. I know we are paying more in interest over the long run, but that really doesn't matter to me. I am okay because I feel way more safe having that money set aside in case we need it. So after our monthly budget page, the very next page I have is our savings tracker. I will put the month at the very top here, and then I will usually divide up my savings tracker into two sections, the top one being our long-term savings account, and then the bottom being our short-term savings account. So for our long-term savings account, we currently have $10,705 in this account. And so this is the one where we are putting in $100, $200 every single week. We will add it into this account. At the bottom, we're keeping track of our short-term savings account, which is pretty much our immediate sinking funds. So right now, the current balance in this account is $18,300. However, $15,000 of it is dedicated toward our renovations. We're currently renovating our house. We're pretty much done. And so this will be the balance that will be due to our contractors. So I'm subtracting it out of this amount to let myself know that we have $3,300 left in our short-term savings account. When we go on our trip, like I said, we are planning on taking a trip this month. When we do, the amount of money, the $600 that we are planning on spending for that trip will come out of this account. So what I normally do is pull the amount of money from this account. So I will pull out $600. I will make a payment on our credit card, add that $600 to our credit card, and then we will use the credit card while we are out of town. Using our credit card, especially when we're out of town, is much safer than using our debit card, which is why that's the primary payment that I use while I am out of town. On the next page is where we are keeping track of our sinking funds. Now, these are the sinking funds that are kept within my Capital account. You guys know that I use the app Capital in order to save for short-term things that I just want to make sure we stay on top of. Currently, I am saving for three things, which is my debt payoff, my tithe, and my taxes. For my debt payoff, it is just where I throw in extra money throughout the course of the month, and then I move the money at the end of every single month in order to make an additional payment on my debt. For our tithe, this has been a better way for me to do tithes on a consistent basis, and this is mainly because I get paid every single day from my business. I have client income, I have affiliate income, I have YouTube income. There are different ways that I am getting paid throughout the course of the month, and it was difficult for me to stay on top of how much I actually owed in tithes because so much money was going in and out. It was hard for me to keep track. So what I have done now is set it up so that my Capital account automatically takes 10% of any any income that I get, and it automatically goes into capital. So as soon as capital sees that there is a deposit that hits my account, it takes 10% of that deposit and it automatically puts it in capital, and then I am able to tithe to my church at the end of every single month. So what I do with my tithes is the same thing that I do with the taxes, and that's taking a percentage of every single thing that comes into our account so that I am able to pay our taxes on a quarterly basis. So once I had the amount in for taxes, I just transferred that money back into my bank account, and then I was able to pay our taxes for the quarter. Because we're self-employed, it's much easier for us to pay it every single quarter instead of waiting to the end of the year and getting a really big tax bill. So currently those are all the sinking funds I have, and then anything else, if it's a birthday, an anniversary, a gift, or anything else that we need to do, it will come out of our short-term savings account, the sinking fund amount that's there, which the current balance is $3,300. The next page is our debt tracker sheet. So this is where I'm currently keeping track of all of our consumer debt. Right now we have two items. The very first one is our Southwest card, and that one has a balance of $3,200. This one will probably be paid off by the end of the month. And the second one is our Sleep Number card. We recently purchased a Sleep Number bed. It has definitely improved our sleep, and we are currently paying off the balance on that card. So after I finish paying off the Southwest card, the next one I will move to is my Sleep Number card. And then we get into our paycheck budget. So with the paycheck budget, I am just keeping track on a weekly basis of everything that we need to pay. I will go back to my monthly spread where I can look at everything that was in one color for a particular week, and then I will add it to my paycheck budget. When I actually make the payments, I will put in the actual amount that I paid. Usually I will write that down in red, and then I am able to keep track of the balance here. Every single week I will save something and then write down all of my bills, and then I always like to have a cushion. My cushion is usually around $145 to $150, and this is just to make sure if anything random hits my account, if I forget about something, I have a little bit of extra money that I could pull from so that I don't go into the base amount that is already in my account. So this is where I am keeping track of all of my fixed bills, and then when it comes to my credit card, the amount that I am spending on there, the variable expenses, I will keep track of everything on the expense tracker. So the expense tracker has the date, the expense, the amount, the account, which I really don't need this column anymore because now everything is from the credit card, but it's there just if I'm ever using my actual bank account, and then what the category is for that particular item. So this will help me keep track of how much I'm spending on food, how much I'm spending on shopping, etc. And then I also have an account balance, which once again, if it's my credit card, I don't really need this, but I have been using it for notes and other things that I may want to keep track of. I hope you enjoyed this one. Have you set up your month of April? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, keep organizing your life so that you can achieve your dreams. Bye, guys.